I didn't come here to preach to you today. I came here today to make noise. Yeah, you're about the guy that took his wife out for the night. They ended up in a disco where a guy on the dance floor was giving a large breakdancing, moonwalking, backflipping, and every possible dance move you could possibly imagine. It was like Dirty Dancing, and his wife turned to him and said, "See that guy on the dance floor? 25 years ago he proposed to me and I turned him down." And the husband replied, "Looks like he's still celebrating." Well, I suppose it's tough getting into Paris. I remember taking that, I don't know, it wasn't really a bullet train, but the fast train to Paris back in the day. Remember being in Paris, and I was at the Louvre, and we were all asked to leave. Some kind of terrorist activity in the streets were full of guards with machine guns, and I don't know what they were, something, rifles. I was lucky to get back home. Anyway, I guess Paris is under siege again today. The siege of the old Eiffel Tower area and the Seine, because the farmers are upset about the cut in subsidy on their fuel. Yeah, the farmers in France, they don't fool around. Over in the European Unions, they don't go for that GMO and that modified stuff and all the chemicals we put on our crops. But then it ain't America. Here in America, if you got the power and you got the greed, you can do anything you can get away with or pay to get away with. I freaked out when I got to the cemetery and my GPS said you have reached your final destination. I was up all night thinking about things like this, listening to the radio, and I heard a guy talking about all the things that we've done to Mother Nature, and that got me thinking and looking up on the internet different words like sound cleaning. Sound cleaning? Come on, get the words to come out of your mouth in the correct order. Seeding clouds. I think they did that to Woodstock. That's why we were so muddy. Yeah, I guess it was good for the mudslides. Operation Cumulus. Chemtrails and Agent Arms in Vietnam and weather wars and manipulation. I often wonder when I look up in the sky and I see them chemtrails that don't disappear like they used to when I was a little kid. What has changed with the weather? Then I get thinking, if I was a pharmaceutical company, I'd be spraying virus out of them things so I could sell some kind of cold medication. But then I ain't a pharmaceutical guy. Well, those pharmaceutical guys, whenever I've been in a doctor's office, those pharmaceutical people walk in there with, seems like they have tickets for vacations in Hawaii and, seminars in Hawaii, rather, where you go and you sit for a half hour while you have breakfast and coffee, and then you lay on the beach with pretty ladies and good-looking gentlemen. Yeah. Or they might be bringing what they call a box lunch. Something from some fancy 4-star restaurant. Why they tell the doc to push this or that, push or that. I got a pharmaceutical friend. Yeah, he's a compounding pharmacist, and he says, I ain't nothing but a drug dealer. Weather manipulation. Could there be biological agents? I don't know. I remember back in the day in Missouri, that is Missouri, out there in Tarkio, the popcorn capital of the world at the time, I worked for a crop duster, and we'd spray 2,4-D and atrazine, and I was soaked with it, and we'd spray it on the fields, and there'd always be overdraft. They'd be doing that with Pawnee and a Piper Cub. That's when I learned to fly, and a Tri-Pacer and a Piper Cub, and things like that. And anyway, back in my working days. Then I get thinking about HAARP up there in Alaska and other places around the world, the high altitude research projects and such. And Yeah, you got it. Weather modification. Oh, yeah, HAARP. Plastic in our oceans, pharmaceuticals in our drinking water. Besides the fluoride waste, other countries sell to us to stick in our water. Well, they don't want it because it's industrial waste. What have they done to our Mother Nature in the name of progress? Have they punched him or her in the gut? Is Mother Nature a he or she or something in between? Or is Mother Nature an inanimate object? Anyway, I had no freaking idea. I visited the local news website this morning and saw a picture of a good friend of mine on the front page with the title above saying, 34-year-old mechanic arrested for dealing drugs. I really thought I knew the guy, but I guess I was wrong. I mean, I've been a loyal customer of his for almost 7 years. I had no idea that he was a mechanic. With greed, you can do anything. With greed, it's raining dogs. Those, as they call them, fat cats and politicians and all those strange bedfellows at the top. I don't know. This is a spoof on weather modification, because we all know nobody would ever modify the weather or try and do anything for war or benefit. Seeding clouds for us to mudslide at Woodstock. They've been playing games like that since 1947. Little did we know the truth behind things like Cambodia and Vietnam, chemtrails and Agent Orange, because they hid it from us, and Operation Cumulus, a secret plan to control the weather with a hidden hand, or chemtrails and toxins in the sky above. What have they done to me? What have they done to you in the name of God? Oh, crop dusting, sometimes with a darker mission, spraying chemicals, sometimes with overdraft and not permission, not to mention GMOs and biochemicals that are hard to sell and hard to get rid of. But one thing's for sure, it's not going well. Operation Cumulus, a secret plan to control the weather with a hidden hand, chemtrails and toxins up there above. What have they done to Mother, oh Mother Nature, what have they done in the name of love? HAARP, a project of high frequency in the sky and magnetism. Weather modification, weather wars at a magnetic cost. Plastic in the oceans and waste in our water. Fluoride and all kinds of industrial waste running in our rivers. Mother Nature's crying and her sons and daughters are in tears, remembering when they added nuclear waste to the fertilizer here. Oh, what have they done? Operation Columbus, oh, a secret plan to control the hidden hand behind the curtain. Chemical toxins in the sky above. What have they done in the name of love? What have they done to Mother Nature for the grace of God? With their greed and power, they punched her in the face, and we just stood by and let it fall, rain on us like reservoir dogs, as we do nothing to rise up to her call. I hear her crying out now. Yes, sirree, golly. Oh, I tell you about my grandparents. They were vaporized in a freak accident. They will be missed. And one rule about fighting circus freaks, I always go for the jugular. May your day be whatever you choose it to be, because after all, we're all connected and we're in charge.